Toshiba Tarmac Championship is all about the battle of the champions, Austin McHale versus Bertie Fisher, and quite rightly so. But you've got to remember that these two great drivers have already got 4 championships behind them, and that Austin is now only 1 victory behind Bertie Fisher's all-time total of 18 tarmac wins, so everything is at stake. But this rivalry is nothing new. Back in 1990 in Denegall, the playing fields were probably more even than ever. Both had BMW M3s, and both knew the northwestern stages intimately. It also has to be said that both knew just exactly how these tortuous tracks through the hills could bite back. Denegall, the magnificence of the Northwest. For one weekend in June each year, this beautiful county is host to Ireland's most popular rally, the Shell Gemini International. For nestling amongst these hills of Denegall are some of the most demanding and exciting rally stages in Europe, stages like Knockalla, whose challenge attracts the best drivers in Ireland and beyond. People like Jimmy McRae, who come to Denegall to attempt Coleman's record of 15 international wins in this country. But his debut in the 20-valve Audi is not to be.
Well, we tested the car this morning, and we've had big problems with the engine management system. The car has a 20-valve engine, and it seems to be incompatible with the 10-valve wiring loom, and we've worked at it, well, mechanics and engine guys worked at it for 4 or 5 hours, and we just can't get the thing to go properly.
It is running though, I mean...
It will run, but then it stops, and what happens when it stops, it drains the battery and you can't start it. And, really thinking safety, you know, we decided that we should pull out.
Jimmy's absence is not the only talking point, as the skies over Letterkenny are laden before the start.
The weather, mind, is a bit tricky at the minute, but I'm looking forward to the rally.
I think the first stage was actually dry up to 10 minutes ago, but it's raining out there now. Having said that, as the second stage is about 14 miles, further towards Killybegs, I think it's dry over in that area. But it's very hard to know when the showers are falling, so we'll just have to wait and see.
If it stays wet all the time, you know, it's wet for everybody. But if it starts to change, then you can be caught in the round hairs, which is a big problem, you know.
Michelle Gemini's pretty legs are firmly on the ground for the start of the 3rd round of the Dunlop Tarmac Championship as the 130-strong field leave Letterkenny for the 5 Friday stages.
In Austin McHale's Extravision BMW, a new co-driver, Dermot O'Gorman, settles in on stage 1.
Quick left, course.
Along the Brina stage, Austin comes across a natural hazard that wasn't in the pace notes.
And slide left, and long.
Towards the end of stage 2, the sun is shining down on a Donegal leader, Vincent Bonner in the Donegal Oil Company Manta 400. Just 3 seconds behind, tough opposition in the Tough Mac car, Bertie Fisher and local co-driver Rory Kennedy on the notes. The sensational new boy, Andrew Nesbitt, in the Philip White Tyres Manta 400. 3rd after stage 1. But listen, the Manta has died. Yellow flags warn early Group N leader Bob Fowden of the hazard around the corner, where Nesbitt's car was stationary. Those loose stones in the last corner have dislodged the oil pump belt, and 2 valuable minutes are lost by the Armagh driver.
And pass left at the house. Pass left.
As Austin and Dermot get to know and trust each other, we scream down towards our junction. Nesbitt's problem promotes the Dunlop Championship leader to 3rd.
And 200. Turn fast. Turn fast, square right. Brake early, loose. Caution, brake early, loose.
Another new name, Richard Smith, about to move up to 4th, but trying too hard here. Despite this, Smith will be less than half a minute behind McHale by Killybegs. And talking of sensations, Bruce Blake on his BIF Tarmac Scholarship Award is 5th on only his 2nd international outing in the Manta. John Price completes the top 6 in the glorious sounding Metro 6R4. Nigel Evans is the co-driver, making it an all-Welsh team. Surprisingly not in the Group N lead, Kenny McKinstry in the Calibre Cosworth. He lost time on stage 1 when a vacuum pipe came loose. Worse trouble to follow for James Cullen, who's blown a turbo. And talking of blowing it, that's Robin Lyons in the ditch. The Peugeot is well and truly stuck in a nasty position as Stephen Emerson approaches. Not much time lost by the Belfast Manta driver, but the minutes are migrating as the 205 is hauled back onto the road. Surprisingly little the worse for its hedge hopping.
Well, overlooking stage 4 with the rally cars coming in the background, we have Jimmy McRae, of course, should have been in this rally, but who better man to give us a little bit of benefit of his knowledge and maybe a little bit of criticism of his fellow drivers. Jimmy, are you prepared to do that?
Well, I think I will, yes. Prepared to do that. I would far rather be in the rally, but anything to help you out, Plum.
As Fisher approaches, we learn that he has gone ahead of Bonner. Jimmy, dry roads, that should help the BMW.
I would say so, yes. I mean, we actually were hoping for rain with the four-wheel drive car, but it really suits the BMs and the Cosworths now. Bertie certainly looks as though he's trying.
Vincent Bonner and Seamus Boyle may have slipped to second, but there's only seconds in it.
I think the Manta will be suited to these roads. The bumps, the Manta's very good over the bumps.
Now here's Austin. He's been looking very quick all day.
He's certainly trying there. He's leaving his braking a bit late, but he's trying very hard.
Now this is John Price in the little Metro 6R4.
When I saw the Metros here today, fair gave me an inclination to get in one. It's certainly the car for this event. Might be a bit difficult in the bumps, but certainly should be quick up round here. Very, very quick up round there. Just too quick.
Well, now John Price is in big trouble as he's breaking one of the golden rules of rallying. He's travelling in the opposite direction of the stage. Richard Smith is next on the scene. And that delay will not have pleased him.
This Smith's car is actually the one that our Colin won his first national rally in.
Price is still looking for a gap, and James McDade is due. I thought I'd seen everything in rally. I saw that.
Well, that's a big problem actually running 30-second intervals, because the car behind comes up very, very quick if you have a problem like what John Price had there.
Now this is young Andrew Nesbitt, who's just won his first national rally round. He's a fellow we hold a lot of hope for.
Well, it certainly seems to be very neat and tidy up to now. Yeah, very impressive, very neat, tidy.
Here comes Cullen, who's had big problems. This should be quick.
Yes, James is obviously trying very hard. He had big problems in the first stage, I think. But
that looked good to me.
it looked good, yeah, very quick.
Well, Jimmy, have you enjoyed your vantage point up here?
It's very good, actually. It's one of the best vantage points I've had in rallying. It's been very interesting.
If you had to pick out one person of all that you saw, who would it be?
No, that's not very nice. I think probably James Cullen was trying harder than anybody else, probably because he's lost time and he's really pushing hard now.
With Jimmy McRae's masterclass over, we turn our attention to another famous rallying name, Clark. For Matthew Clark is the son of the great Roger Clark, and he's in the top 10. More famous names are sons of famous names. Stephen Price could teach his dad John a thing or two about this corner. And Alistair is the latest in the McRae dynasty to show the family talent for speed.
By the end of the day, there are now 3 real contenders for the Shell Gemini International, and only 13 seconds separate all 3. Bonner is back in the lead with 1 second on Fisher, and our camera car a mere 12 seconds behind the other BMW. Day 2, and the action starts on Fanad Head. Vincent Bonner may be in an 8-year-old design, but it's not shaking his confidence. Fanad has been Fisher's bogey stage on 2 occasions in the past. Maybe not the place to close the 1 second gap. McHale has no such inhibitions, and he starts the rally's big day in fine style. Climb aboard
70.
as we set joint fastest time on one of Denegall's great stages.
70. Quick left, 120, and turn easy, square left. 120.
No mistakes from the top three, but that's the last time we'll see Richard Smith as he crashes out at the end of the stage. And here's the other quick man, and it shows. Cullen shares fastest on Fanad with McHale. Pat Kirk, the giant killer, the 1600 Nova is 14th overall. And Desi McCartney's enjoying his Indian summer in Donegal, lying 4th in Group N.
Now for Telecom Knockalla, the stage that was Austin's downfall 12 months ago. Here's the deceptive left-hander that has caught out Austin and Vincent Bonner seen here in the past. Bonner taking it slightly easy then, and with that obstacle behind him, he and Seamus Boyle can get on with defending their slender 4-second lead. Bertie Fisher is next up the famous hill climb, and he and McHale are much happier with the softer suspension fitted to the BMWs by ProDrive since the Circuit of Ireland. As the Ballinamallar driver crests the hill, it's time for Austin McHale and his new co-driver Dermot O'Gorman to meet the challenge of Knockalla.
Slight right, 150. Slight left, long. Straight crest and slight right, 250. And slight left, 150, this is it. Medium right, medium.
You can hear the relief in Dermot's voice as they get through that notorious left-hander. The rest of the climb is relatively straightforward, but once over the top, it's a different story. The descent contains 120-mile-an-hour straights and drops towards Lough Swilly that are definitely to be avoided.
Quick left. And quick right, cut. And quick left over crest, cut, long, 70. Absolute right, 100. Downhill, slide right and quick right, tight in the second half. Repeat, tight in the second half, 100. Quick right and absolute crest, 130.
That other great Donegal mounted driver, James McDade, is 4th, just 2 minutes behind the top 3. But he has problems as Cullen is closing rapidly, and James sets up a sensational time, 11 seconds quicker than anyone, to take the Telecom prize. But Seamus Hegarty is heading towards Knockalla Mountain. Back at Milford, the leader arrives, and the bulletins tell us that things are very close. Well, Vincent, that 1 second overnight lead, is it still there?
Yeah, there's a few more onto it. I think we're about 5 now, well, you know, but it's very tight. You know, we have maybe 1-2 stages, and the boys have maybe 1-1 stage, and, you know, it's tight the whole way through, you know.
Just swapping seconds out there this morning between about 4 or 5 cars, really, you know. So it's pretty hectic.
We were fastest on the first one, and I think at the second one, off the 3. I don't know what James Cullen is doing, but I think then Vincey's after getting 2 seconds back off us at the last one. So after the first 3, I think there's 2 seconds between Bertie and ourselves, and Vincent is something about 8 seconds.
Oh, yesterday was just so disappointing. That I felt so down, so sick after we won the first stage and dropped all the time. So we decided to go out this morning just and try and prove a point, really.
Today is going reasonably well. There's no point in chasing the front 3 or 4 men today because we lost 2 minutes to them yesterday, so there's no point in making the commitment to try and catch them. There's 2 or 3 people in front of us this morning. We've managed to pull 2 places back so far, and we've 1 or 2 places to try and get this evening.
The Fiesta Encore, with 3 years insurance, with a deposit of only £169. just £169 per month, 8.7% APR. So the Fiesta's well within your reach.
You know why you're here, so where were you?
I told you.
You don't want to change your story?
No, I took a TVR Cerbera.
Ran the Nissan Skyline and a Toyota Supra.
That's right.
And you spun the TVR.
Yes!
There's no record of a missing TVR or a crash with a Skyline or a Supra that night.
Do you want to change your story?
Pure mystery.
Ancient magic.
The stars hold
Many meanings.
symbols of
Achievement.
chariots of
Ancient gods.
celestial.
Timekeepers.
The mystery of the future.
We make the stars our icons.
Because they have always been.
Our inspiration.
They say you've either got green fingers or you haven't, but I don't need them. I discovered Miracle Grow, and what a difference it makes. Plants grow faster and stronger, and I get loads more flowers and vegetables. You know, Miracle Grow put me in a different league. In fact, I'm getting something of a reputation around here. Miracle Grow. The name says it all.
Those troublesome annual weeds. They're a problem nobody wants. To get rid of them fast, you need Weedall. Weedall kills these weeds dead in a matter of hours, unlike most other weed killers which take weeks. Weedall kills weeds dead fast.
Looking forward to a nice summer? We've got just what your garden needs and at low key season prices.
Parasols, tables, chairs.
Only B&Q has tropical hardwood furniture certified by the FSC.
And we've got loads of barbecues. Charcoal, gas.
This one comes with a side burner for under £100.
Smoking. Get planting.
We've got the compost, the plants.
Petunia, Busy Lizzie, even hanging basket kits.
Find them anywhere locally for less and we'll refund double the difference.
You can do it.
When you're B&Q is.
The battle rages on, with the lead constantly changing. New leader Bertie Fisher and rival Vincent Bonner are worried men in service.
Well, apparently there's a spectator problem on Carnhill. Yeah. That's only what we've been told at the end of the stage. But we were coming up to a flat crest, probably, what, 80, 90 mile an hour. It could have been 100 mile an hour, hard as you can go. There were people all over the place waving hands, right? And the sweeper car was parked very tight on the left-hand side of the road. Now, I immediately thought, this guy, they're all slowing us down because the sweeper car has went off the road or pulled off the road or whatever. And I'm sure we went a mile past the point, and it suddenly dawned on me there must be a spectator problem. So we backed off sort of for the rest of the junction. But with Vincent not having stopped, you know, you never know. Like we've all stopped on stages before and found our stage not cancelled or something like that. So. But the place that they tried to stop the cars was crazy. You know, they could have, all they had to do was walk 100 yards down the road, or even go up 100 yards up the road.
You know, he could have stopped us quite easily then.
So the dispute is that they don't know if the stage is cancelled or not, was that it?
It is cancelled.
Well, we don't know whether we're excluded or not, that's the one.
Why would you be excluded?
Because we didn't stop at a stop for it. You know, that's logic of it, you know. We don't know.
We now see this incident, which could have changed the result of the rally, from inside Austin McHale's car. Dermot O'Gorman, like Fisher and Bonner, was also confused, but not Austin.
Left, an absolute press, an absolute right, put, 200. Go on, go on, go on. Go on.
When we were halfway through the stage, there was one of the sweeper cars right on the stage with a stop sign. And we stopped because we didn't know whether it was an accident or what was after happening. But I don't know if it was out for Bertie and Vincent. I'm sure, you know, their experience, if there was a stop sign out, they would have stopped.
Well, they're very confused about it. Both of them went through the stop sign. And first of all, they thought that it was in a very dangerous place.
I cannot comment on where it was when they were going through, if it was there. But when we came through, the marshal was standing in the middle of the stage with the stop sign out, and we obviously, when there's a stop sign, we just stopped.
You have no confusion whatsoever?
No, well, where he was standing when we came through, there's no confusion, but that's not to say that he wasn't standing, he was standing in the same place when Bertie or Vincent went through.
Fortunately, there were no recriminations from the organisers, who already had enough problems with cancelled stages during the day, so the race continued to Letterkenny. Austin desperately trying to close a 4-second gap, and with Vincent a mere 4 seconds adrift of the second BMW, only 8 seconds separated the first three for Saturday's grand finale.
6 stages to decide the result between 3 people. It's the closest Denegall rally ever. For the experienced like Austin McHale, the closeness of the competition and now the atrocious conditions mean pushing it right over the limit if he wants to win the rally that has only brought him bad luck in the past.
And very fast left and fast right, 120. Fast right, 120. Absolute left over press.
Our trip through Muckish Gap graphically illustrates the risks, but they are worth it as Austin takes 6 seconds out of Fisher here to go back into the rally lead.
Very fast left, bumps, cut.
5 stages to go, and amazingly this battle, which started 3 days ago between the top 3, is still intact. But the Tough Mac car has now got low oil pressure. And a broken rotor arm later on in this stage wrecks an excellent run for Vincent Bonner and costs him 7 minutes. Now there are 4 stages to go, and as in Galway, it's between the 2 BMWs. Fisher looks neater, but there are rumours of a 10-second penalty for arriving late into service. James Cullen's storming drive brought him up to 3rd after Bonner's demise. And Kenny McKinstry is in a calibre of his own in Group N.
The final stage is normally a dawdle, but not so this year in Denegall. For Austin, the Denegall jinx is broken and victory comes to the new partnership. Bertie Fisher has actually been 1 second quicker on the stages, but the road penalties drop him to 2nd. And here's Cullen, 3rd and probably the fastest man in the rally. For Kenny, it's been a new car with the old flair and Group N and 4th overall. And John Price, despite going backwards on the first day, ends up in 5th place.
And the class winners, Philip Sanford wins the 1300 Group N category, and Seamus Gallagher, seen here, takes the 1600 Group N. Steve Eggleston takes the lucrative Peugeot Super Cup and £1,300 with the 2-litre Group N class. Stephen Price, son of Metro man John, is the 1300 Group A winner. Seamus Murphy in the similar-looking but 1600 engine Nova is Class 6 winner. The 2-litre Group A category goes to David McElroy. In the modified 1350s, it's Alistair McRae, son of Jimmy. Dominic McLaughlin wins the 1650 modified section. And Cahill Rogers is the winner of the 2-litre modified cars and also the Spirit of the Rally Award for helping another competitor. James McClintock revives many memories, taking Class 13 in the Mini Cooper S. Robbie Peoples is the Class 14 winner, while Hugh Gallagher's more powerful Escort wins Class 15. And finally, Drexel Gillespie's well-driven Lotus Cortina takes the new historic section.
The final few yards of the 1990 Shell Gemini Denegall International Rally, and for the second time in this year's Dunlop Tarmac Series, our camera car has won. After many years of trying, Austin McHale has won the rally that he came within 1 second of winning in the past. And for Dermot O'Gorman, it's a remarkable debut in the BMW. The new partnership has brought a new experience for Austin in Donegal.
We're very happy to have won the event this year. Things have gone very good for us over the weekend, and it was tight between ourselves and Bertie and Vincent right up to the second last stage. And you know, after having 3 seconds in the event and being beaten by 1 second, you know, this year it has really all came together, and we're very happy to have won it.
Dermot, of course, your first job, you might say, with Austin McHale. You've obviously thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes, it was a bit nerve-wracking today. Some of the bumps over Muckish were a little bit strenuous, both on the car and me.
You had one particularly bad bump, I believe.
We had, when I looked up, all I saw was the road in front of me, and I thought we were going to land on our nose, but we got away with it. We're here anyhow.
And you're the winners.
We're the winners, yeah.
The sportsmanship of Bertie Fisher, beaten only by the regulations, has been outstanding, but the real hard luck story goes to Vincent Bonner.
It broke the rotor arm, and it took us maybe 2 or 3 minutes to discover what was wrong. And there must have been 200 or 300 people at the junction, and they sent somebody down the road to get a rotor arm because it's the same as an ordinary car, and he came back with the wrong one.